My guy Steve to show up here tonight as QCTV basketball action as the Anoka Tornadoes will take on. Ladies and gentlemen, our officials will play a hard role in tonight's game. But inside the gym is hot.
And I'm Tim Anderson. And now for your play-by-play guy tonight, Mr. Steve Thompson.
The weather, here we are before the holidays, but the Tornadoes playing pretty well. 4-1 out of the gate. Hill Murray won their first three. They've dropped three in a row.
Now here are tonight's starting lineups, beginning with the Hill Murray Pioneers.
With 8 seniors.
Yeah, you know, Coach Jesse Jefferson has talked about this before. He, I think, thought last year they were going to take a big step forward, and they ended up winning the same amount of games they did the year prior. But I think he liked a lot of the pieces he had, and certainly he really likes the players he's got this year. You're right, it's a veteran group, but they've also got a lot of young guys mixed in around them, and that's going to make for a very interesting roster this year.
Starting at guard number 10, 6-foot senior, Will Aitula. And playing guard for the
Absolutely, and Anoka's gone out and tried to play some of these. They've already played Blaine. They've got a game coming with Champlain Park soon. They've got Coon Rapids tomorrow night. They've already played St. Thomas Academy. They played a tough game against Edina. They've been very, very good, and they're playing a lot of games early this season, but have done well.
Yeah, and the Tornadoes balanced scoring. 4 players already in double figures. That's a huge key night in and night out in this league.
One thing you notice about the Tornadoes too, Steve, is they play positionless basketball. You know, they'll have 5 guards listed in the starting lineup, but really it's just positionless, guys who can do everything. All 5 guys can handle the basketball. All 5 guys could run the point in the offense. All 5 guys can shoot. They can do lots of different things, and then they bring guys like a Beckway in off the bench, and it just feels like they're a tough matchup all the way around.
And they play together on the football field, then here on the basketball court, and to me, that's another part of it. That football team went deep in the season, so they weren't able to work together, but they were working together on the gridiron. And once again, this is a team that has very high expectations.
And we talk about sometimes being a multi-sport athlete's a real positive because you get to work those other muscles, but it's that team camaraderie stuff that you talk about, Steve. So Hill Murray is going to be interesting to watch today how they match up, because you're right, this is a kind of a young team, a team that's trying to find themselves a little bit, and they're going to be in for a tough test tonight. I'd be interested to see how they match up with these with this starting 5, this fast lineup of guards for the Tornadoes.
And the Tornadoes love to get up and down the floor. 80.4 points a game already this year, and they'd like to push that number higher.
They like to score. The big challenge for the Tornadoes is, can they play defense, right? Can they stop their opponents? So far this season, they've done a pretty good job on defense. Will that continue tonight?
All right, Lackinen, Bakit, Padani, Ellis, Borchers out there for the Tornadoes in black. Meanwhile, for the Pioneers, Dorman, Petrozewski, Daniels, Idhula, and Myers starting instead of Omen Yini in the ball game tonight. And Myers running the point out on the right. He'll get it to the free throw line, and Daniels down during the block. Kicks it out into the corner. He'll drive baseline, and the fade away off the front of the rim, and the rebound to Lackinen. He'll push the pace. This is a recording. And Padani out on top, almost lost the handle. Padani right down the lane, gives it up nicely. And that layup pops out of there for Lackinen. He'll get the board, scramble for it on the deck. It is going to be tied up. And on the jump, Tornadoes are going to hang on.
Brody reminding you a little bit of his older sister Lydia, who graduated last year, getting the rebounds, crashing the boards early, and missing layups, of course, on the other end. But getting their own rebound. You notice Brody fights for everything on the inside. You like that.
Peyton Padani kicks it in on the inbound, leading the team 21.4 a game. Down the baseline, getting airborne in a tough spot was Ellis. And now on the turnover, Hill Murray comes back into the front court, Ben Myers. Ben Myers wearing number 21 over to Daniels on the right. Daniels is going to go all the way in, put it up, blocked out of there by Lackinen. Goes into the corner. He throws it inbound, picked up by the Pioneers, and up Petrozewski, and he's going to go to the line and get free throws.
Boy, Lackinen covers a lot of ground. As we mentioned, he's a guard, listed as sort of a guard forward, kind of a stretch, if you will. But, man, I'll tell you what, at 6'4", he can get up and block shots. He can crash boards. He's a factor on the inside, and that's what they need him to be because they're not a very big team, but they're super athletic.
And that foul's going to go on Lackinen. First foul either way, free throw, and that is missed by Petrozewski.
Take a look at this hustle from Lackinen. He's all way off the play, and he hustles all the way back to almost get that block. Really impressive stuff from Brody early on.
That one out of there. Good rebound, Padani. And here come the Tornadoes.
It's an example of everybody playing what they can. It's Ellis bringing the ball up the floor this time.
Trey Borchers, double team comes all the way across the court, out on top. McKeith, no. Rebound, Borchers right back up, off, no good. And the board to the Pioneers.
2 missed layups already by the Tornadoes from point-blank range. Got to have those early on in the season. Got to get that right, and then a turnover by Hill Murray.
Yeah, Daniels just threw it away. He was trying to get it across court to Myers, and he went the other way.
But you see exactly what we talk about with the Tornadoes. Ellis brought it up that time. Now Padani back in more of that traditional guard role. Now Ellis again bringing it up.
Now it's Borchers on the outside. They get it to the elbow. Spinning into the lane. Padani kicks it out on the right. And the Tornadoes right back at it. Ellis down the lane, gave it up. Another turnover on the Tornadoes. Goes off the hip or the thigh of Lackinen out of bounds.
Yeah, not a bad feed from Dre Ellis. I just wonder if Brody didn't see it coming. Want to see Dre get his own shot, though, on the inside. I think he's capable of that. Got in amongst the trees. I'd like to see him just go strong.
Tornadoes show pressure. They beat that. Daniels to the timeline. Almost an over and back. Lobs it near his side. Dorman for the Pioneers. Once again, won their first 3. Have dropped 3 in a row. That goes into the corner. Knocked down there. And now they go inside. Stolen away. Tipped right back to the Pioneers. And right back at it. Petrozewski the board. Kicks it out. Dorman the 3. Air ball. But the rebound bucket by Daniels.
And Coach Jefferson immediately not happy. Calls a lightning fast 30-second timeout. No, not only just to talk, maybe to settle the guys down a little bit, but you get a couple of missed layups. You get some turnovers. Certainly is going to raise the ire of Coach Jefferson. And then defensively, you get a trap in the corner. And they're able to not only get out of that trap, but then they're able to get a layup at the rim. That's just not something you want.
Yeah, no doubt. And getting beat on the boards, you need those defensive rebounds in that situation. It is early in the game, but you're trying to get on the board. By the way, Pioneers out of the gate lead at 2-0 here. And really a nice job. Daniels has been active already in this game and, all over on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, Daniels and Lackinen have so far been banging here on both possessions up and down. And, again, Brody got a block there once again, had a chance at a rebound, but you got to secure that ball. You got to crash. Tornadoes, that's been the challenge over the last few years defensively is can you crash the boards and get rebounds? That time they did not do it, and I'm sure that was the convo from Coach Jefferson.
McKeith hands it off. Padani off to the left. Borchers with the headband to the free throw line. Now Ellis gets back to Borchers. No, but the foul is going to go on Daniels. First foul on the Pioneers.
Well, the headband is a better look than the leopard hair color he went with during the football playoffs at the state tournament. That was quite the unique look. Some of the guys still having the remnants of that blonde, although Padani has a little bit of that. But Ellis, as you can see, has shed his. He is got a brand new haircut, Dre Ellis does. Didn't recognize him at first.
Borchers knocks down the first. Tornadoes on the board. 15:22 to go. Half number 1 here on this Wednesday night. Not a ton of action around the state as you might expect on this Wednesday night. But a good one. Number 1 4A Creighton-Durham Hall at Eastridge. Suburban East rivals going at it at Eastridge.
Yeah, it's
and
a
then
travel.
we got a turnover and a travel in the backcourt. Myers turns it over.
Really like the pressure that you see from the Tornadoes. They go full court. They try to at least quicken the tempo of the Pioneers a bit there. Worked out great. They got the turnover.
Here's Ellis handling it. They get it to Borchers way out. Padani on the right. Sends it into the middle. Borchers looks at a three, drives in all the way to the hole, off the glass, no good. Rebound Lackinen, he'll try and get out of there. Ball down on the deck. It is scrambled for. Grabbed by the Tornadoes. Bakit, he'll work it to the right. And we have a shot clock violation. Pioneers will take that.
They certainly will, and that's pretty good defense there. Borchers got the look at the rim he wanted as he was trying to look off somebody defensively, trying to make people move around the floor with his eyes, but that time he didn't finish at the rim. That's a couple missed layups for Borchers, and because it really didn't draw iron, I mean, that clock resets to only like 13 seconds. You got to move quickly.
So, getting ready to inbound. Tornadoes haven't subbed yet. Lackinen, Bakit, Padani, Ellis.
They got a back way getting
on
ready
the
here
floor
to think about it, because get Affy in there, get maybe some extra enthusiasm, get some extra energy on the floor. Get some guys finishing at the rim. And I think they're checking to see if it was a shot clock reset, and they're checking with the guys over there at the table.
They don't have the ability to replay. At least we don't have that nonsense.
Oh, thank goodness for that.
We'll
put you in charge of that, Steve. You could be the replay czar.
The end of some NBA games or even college games with the replay.
Well, it's okay
Just
for them now because
insane.
literally nobody's watching NBA games right now. So it's okay. So they're not worrying about those people at home because those people have long stopped watching.
All right, here we go. Slow start for both teams, just inside of 15 minutes. Pioneers turn it over, but the Tornadoes all over defensively. Bakit, good job.
Yeah, Bakit, again, kind of a longer guard, big, strong kid. And when you bring full court pressure with the athleticism the Tornadoes have, that's going to be a tough matchup for a team like Hill Murray. They've got to come up with a press offense and move the ball quickly.
All right, a back way on the floor. And this is Padani. Drives in, spins, up, in.
Been waiting for Peyton Padani to get rolling. He got his 1,000th point already this season. Great steal by Borchers.
And then threw it away, and it was tied up. Tied up there, Ellis tied it up. And Hill Murray's going to hang on to it. Daniels was right in the middle, and Daniels to inbound. Here's Myers. Double team comes. And now they get it to Daniels. He'll work it ahead. And that's to Petruzewski. And he has his first points, and we're tied at 4.
You're going to give up some of that in a full court pressure, but I like what the Tornadoes are doing. And a good take by Padani.
Wow, tough shot. Padani hit it. He has 4 in a row, and the Tornadoes lead by 2. Right back the other way. Comes Myers. He'll hand it off. Dorman, they don't go very deep. They have 2 top reserves. They don't have a huge roster either. So these guys are going to play a lot of minutes. Dorman out on the right, guarded there by a Beckway. They fire it inside, tapped around, stolen away Borchers. Borchers on the run to Padani all the way across. A Beckway lays it in.
That's beautiful basketball right there from Borchers to Padani to a Beckway as they work that little 3-man weave beautifully. And that's the plus, Steve, of being able, where everybody's able to handle the basketball. Borchers runs that break to perfection.
Foul's going to go on Ellis, second on the Tornadoes, just 1 on Hill Murray. 13:40 to go. Tornadoes by 4, and that's stolen away. Borchers in the backcourt. He'll bring it up. Borchers kicks it out on the side. It's Ellis, off no good. Rebound tapped down, but Keith had it knocked away, and the foul's going to go on the Pioneers.
Yeah, the cross-court pass for the Pioneers is just not going to work unless you can get some air on it because Borchers' hands are really quick, and you can see how quickly he gets his hands in the passing lanes, and he's already gotten 3 or 4 turnovers already just on his own, Steve. So Hill Murray's got to start faking some passes, moving the lanes around a little bit, being a little bit more challenging for this Anoka defense because they're getting a lot of looks at steals. Bakit misses that first one.
Bakit, 12.2 a game. Another senior in this lineup. Going to the bench is Ellis. And Kamari Hibbler, another senior, 5'10 guard. One of the key guys off the bench for Coach Jefferson.
Total spark plug guy, kind of an energy guy. It's what he was for the football team as well this year. Kind of an attitude guy. Brings a little swag to him.
5 in a row for the Tornadoes. They lead by 5. Backcourt pressure again, stolen away by Padani. Feeds it across. Hibbler had it knocked away. And the Tornadoes are going to hang on. And right now, Hill Murray has no answer for this Tornado press.
You're not going to break the press trying to drive through two guys. You're going to have to move quickly. As soon as you see that pass coming, you got to anticipate, and people have to move. That ball's got to get out of the backcourt as fast as possible, and you got to give people outlet looks and passing lanes and all that stuff.
Lob it inside off the feet. Padani hits a Beckway airborne. It is 11-4. Beckway a quick 4 off the bench. And a foul in the backcourt on the Tornadoes. And they've got to mind their P's and Q's. You don't want to pick up a ton of fouls in the backcourt.
No, certainly not. But you see the Tornado defense on this press has been quite relentless. They are attacking the ball handler as soon as that inbound is made, and it's not giving the inbounder a chance to get away.
And there's on the inbound, Borchers knocks it away. By the way, that foul is going to go on Bakit, his first. Third team foul on the Tornadoes.
I'm surprised. I thought they were going to give that one to Hibbler. But instead, yeah, you're right, it was Bakit.
Daniels to inbound. Gets it into Myers. Myers near the A in the middle of the floor. Hounded by Hibbler. Daniels down to the block. Powers it up and gets it to fall. Nice move by Ben Myers.
That's a big basket for Myers and the Pioneers. They needed to break this little streak. And it takes the Tornadoes out of their press.
Danny drove in, kicked it out, then driving in his own right was Bakit. He has 3. Tornadoes back up by 7. Backcourt heat. Myers tips it over to Daniels. Daniels lobs it ahead. And now the Pioneers go to work. They were able to beat the press that time, but it's been a struggle.
Defense is so much better for the Tornadoes than what we've seen the last few years. Coach Jefferson's got something brewing here.
And that's how they're going to get it done. You got to play D driving in. That was Daniels. He got fouled on the way to the hole. This one could be Bakit. If it is, it's number 2.
Because you and I, Steve, have watched a lot of Tornado ball over the last 4 or 5 years together, and you don't see them throw a lot of traps out and a lot of presses out like this. And now this year, it's early, like in a game like this, just really relentless stuff, and I like it.
At the line, Daniels misses a free throw. And he'll get one more, 2 points. It was 4-4, and since then the Tornadoes have really taken command. Subs coming in. Borchers is going to go to the bench. Also sitting down, Bakit. Ellis back out there.
Caleb Shearer as well.
Another senior. And one more for Daniels, and he knocks it down. Daniels has 3. And now here's Padani. Padani's going to give it up. Hibbler. Hibbler swings it off to the left. Shearer further out to the left, and Padani. Beckway is going to drive down the lane all the way to the hole. Blocked out of there. Foul's going to go on Petrzewski. And Beckway went down hard. I hope he's not injured on that play.
No, he took a little shot to the face, looks like, as he kind of went grabbing his beak there. Maybe got hit in the mouth on his way up. But say that's a huge change in a Beckway. If you've watched him over the last couple of years, Steve, Bekway's basketball IQ and just natural skills have really grown and improved.
That one no good. Beckway a quick 4 off the bench. Misses a free throw there.
Yeah, he's become like a guy who can score at the rim. He's always been an effort guy, a high motor guy. And now he's got the ability to get to the basket on his own. He doesn't have to have a pick set for him or anything. He can put it on the floor, go get it himself. And if this piece of his game is coming along, the free throw game and the mid-range jumper game, then you're going to see him become a real factor.
Tornadoes doubling him up, 12-11 to go in the half. Tornadoes subbing in. Concho Quenti into the game for the Tornadoes, sitting down a Beckway.
One of my favorite guys on the team, Concho Quenti. A little bit bigger guy, gives them a little more size on the inside. Smart kid, too. Good basketball IQ.
Idhula into the game. Will Idhula for the Pioneers and head coach Cameron Jones. They're trying to get a good look. It's Daniels. Daniels against Padani. Inside, stolen away by Quinty. And he'll outlet Hibbler into the front court. Padani swings it to his left. Here's Ellis again. Right of the lane, gives it up. Tornadoes moving it well. Driving in, Shearer. And now he'll go left. Hibbler. Good defense by the Pioneers. Now down the lane, Padani lost a handle. Almost a double dribble. Now they get it to Ellis outside. Got it.
Oh, Boy, I'll tell you what, the ball movement was terrific, and the spacing for the Tornadoes was great, and that's what allowed that outlet pass to happen to Ellis up top. People kept moving for the Tornadoes. They didn't stand around and watch the basketball, and because of that, Ellis got an open look.
Myers needs some help, puts it on the ground.
That's 10.
And we got a 10-second call, and Will Idhula couldn't get it over the timeline. And once again, Ben Myers needed help, and he didn't get it.
The instincts for the Hill Murray Pioneers have got to they got to use that time in their head and be like, hey, we got to get this across the line in 10 seconds. We got to set screens. We got to move. We got to get in passing lanes. We got to do stuff to allow, give our guards a break so that we can get across the line.
Since it was tied 4-4, 13-3 Tornado run, 11:06 to go in the half. And as we mentioned, Cardinals here tomorrow night, then the Christmas break, and then Anoka, 2 big games down at Hamline University at Hutton Arena. And folks, if you haven't been to Hutton, it's as good as it gets. One of the oldest gyms in the state, a lot of history. Get down there and see the Tornadoes play. It's great stuff. I mean, it's easy to get to, just down Snelling, just past some fairgrounds.
Yeah. And
good stuff.
Coach Jefferson hasn't been shy about wanting to play in things like that. Get his guys out there.
Oh, no doubt. Especially a squad like this. Tornadoes up by 10. Ellis, another 3. No. Rebound tapped around. Grabbed down by the Tornadoes. Quinty fires it out. Ellis, free throw line. Jay got it.
Little mid-range jumper for Dre Ellis. Missed the 3, but got it right back, and a good hustle play by Quinty to give him the look.
Daniels to the corner. Nobody home. Another turnover on the Pioneers, and they're having all sorts of trouble with the pressure. Alex Reed's going to come into the game, going to the bench. Omenyini. John Omenyini was in for a moment, just a sophomore. And now Alex Reed, 6'5" junior, will be down in the low post. Here's Padani around the corner, down the lane, up no good. Reed tapped the rebound. Here's Daniels, and swings it out to the right. Hill Murray goes to work, down by 12. And Tornadoes knock it away. Good defense over there. Hibbler all over it.
You can see Kamari's hustle. He is definitely the spark plug guy, the energy guy, and he is just getting into the wallet of everybody he's guarding. I mean, in the hip pocket of Ben Myers in the backcourt. Every time Ben touches the ball, he is just all over him.
You know, in this Tornado team reminds me a lot of those Andover teams that had great guard play and won a couple of sections and went to state. Daniels shot no good, where they really brought it for 36 minutes a night.
Yeah, they will need to do it because it's all guards with speed, with defense, with pressure. But if you can do that, you can be a really difficult matchup for a lot of teams because they'll have to go small ball against you.
And that's what those Andover teams had a few years ago. Padani, the jumper from the elbow, knocks one down. And Padani in the game has 6. And the Tornadoes gradually pulling away. Backcourt pressure. That goes off. I thought that went off the Tornadoes.
I think that was off of Shearer, but that was a break, I think. Shearer I think it's a wry smile from Caleb Shearer. I think he knows that was off of his Nike, but he's not going to say nothing.
Yeah, Dorman tried to get it over to Daniels, and it probably got deflected. Doesn't matter. Tornado ball. Here's Hibbler.
And it's another example of that pressure, though, causing such trouble for the Pioneers.
And just constant movement. But anyway, out on the left. Ellis to his right on top. He'll drive, slip, fall, get back up. This is Quinty. And now it's Ellis. 3 ball on the way. Short. Quinty the board. Kicks it out. Shearer the 3. He got it.
Oh, I love that. And that's all from the great hustle of Concho Quinty, who was able to keep that play alive and get that one out to Shearer for the 3.
Ellis the steal, kicks it out. Hibbler 3, banks it in.
Oh boy, things getting a little late early for the Pioneers. Down 20 already with 8:57 to go, and the pressure continues.
Myers into the front court, gets it at the line. He almost should take that shot. Out on the left, that off no good by Idula.
Yeah, they got a contested shot from the three-point line instead. And when they had the open shot, they passed it up.
Shearer gives it up. Ellis feeling it, drives right of the lane. Stop outside Hibbler. And Hibbler will go to work on the big A. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Tornadoes by 20 already. Hibbler's going to drive, stop, go across, stolen away by the Pioneers. Lobbed ahead, but grabbed right back by Hibbler. Now it's Ellis, baseline left. Shearer, long three.
Oh, boy.
Air ball. Quenty, the easy board in the corner. He'll fire it to the top. Hibbler, another long three. This time he buries it. He has 2 threes and 6 points. And we have a timeout on the floor with the Tornadoes up by 23. How about Kamari Hibbler?
Kamari Hibbler, and boy, when you start making shots, he has what we like to call irrational confidence, Steve. As soon as he starts knocking shots down, he's going to become one of those heat check guys out there on the floor. He's going to just get more confidence as the game progresses, and he'll just keep firing if he feels like he can make it.
Yeah, and once again, this is what the Tornadoes are going to need to bring every night, whether it's Hill Maury or Coon Rapids tomorrow night or anybody in the Northwest Suburban. They're going to have to get after it for 36 minutes.
Yeah, and you can see the pressure that's going to put on their opponents because you're going to have some stamina as we take a look at this last one. First from the Ellis miss on the air ball, but watch the hustle from Concho Quenty, and then on the right on the buzzer, the shot made from Caleb Shearer. And then you see it once again, you back out to Hibbler. Little bank shot. I mean, that's just knocking things down from the outside. 30 points already, and we've only played 10 minutes or so here, Steve.
Yeah, and for the Tornadoes, you look at offensively in the half court, tons of movement, move the ball quickly because they don't have a lot of big guys. 6'4" is as big as they go up and down the senior-laden lineup, so they're going to need to do it defensively and with great movement in the half court, and then try and get out on the break when you can.
Well, what they are trying to do as well is force the opponents to keep running and keep moving for 30 minutes. They're basically saying, we're in better shape than you are, and we think at the end of the game we're going to be the ones standing while you guys are going to be struggling.
And I think as we get beyond football season, because I think football shape and basketball shape, two different things, because you have a play and a break.
Yeah.
And once this group gets in full hoop shape, look out. Here's Reed down on the baseline, powers his way in and up, and he traveled.
Yeah.
He took an extra step.
Then just watch Concho Quenty. Looked like he was hobbling. He might have pulled something on that save inbound because he looked like he was struggling back up the floor. So he's going off with Heidi Beckendorf, our athletic trainer, to see if Concho's all right.
Here come the Tornadoes. Once again, Shearer has a made three. Borcher's on the floor. This is Hibbler. Back to Borcher, wide open down the lane.
Oh,
Missed
boy,
the
that's
layup.
3 of those for Trey. He's got to get a little bit more focused on those layups. Those got to go down.
Idahula brings it into the front court. Will Idahula back off the bench. And now they got it to Dorman. Dorman's going to hand it off. Myers down the lane. Had it blocked. What a block by Lackinen. Out on the break too far for Borchers. And Hilmer is going to get it back.
I mean, you love what Borcher, you don't want anything to change with how Borchers plays, though. You love the fact that he jumps in passing lanes. You love the fact that he's constantly running and hustling and always trying to get shots. But you can see clearly Jefferson's giving him maybe a little hard time about a missed layup or two because you get a little smile out of Trey.
On the inbound, all sorts of trouble for Dorman. Tied up, stolen right back. Shearer spins one in, and he has 5 off the bench. And the Tornadoes continue to extend their lead.
And they're continuing to extend their defense with pressure, and now a body call on Kamari Hibbler. You wonder when Coach Jefferson will say, all right, maybe we'll call off the dogs here for a few minutes. I don't know if he will for this first half. I think he might be trying to prove a point.
By the way, Tornadoes on a 19-0 run. It was 17, make it 13-7. And now it's 32-7, and it's been a lot of good D. Myers in the back court as they clear out of there. Padani right on his hip. And Myers dribbles to the left. Double team comes, needs some help, and gets it out. Idahula And a turnover on Hill Murray as they just throw it away, and they can't afford that.
Yeah, this is legitimately the best defense I've seen this Tornadoes team play. They have really attacked, and it's been fun to watch. It's been stifling defensive pressure, and then pretty good execution. Not perfect execution offensively, but pretty good execution on the offensive end.
Pedani left of the lane, spins into the paint, kicks it back out. Lackinen down to the block, puts it up, spins out of there, tapped it to the outside, and it's grabbed there by Ben Myers. Myers for the Pioneers. They'll come the other way as we approach 6 to go. Half number 1. Tornadoes in command. And that is Dorman to the outside. This should be an over and back as Petrozewski tracks it down, and it is.
You see what happens, Steve, when they speed up the clock of the opponent, how those passes tend to happen, right? Guys take their eyes off the ball because they're trying to figure out where they're going to be able to go with the basketball, and in doing that, they forget to secure it. That's what defensive pressure does to you.
And when you're going to play this way, being able to go with 10 deep is huge.
Oh, absolutely.
Or even a little more. But, 10 guys for Jefferson, and this is what Anoka is going to bring night in and night out. 4-1 so far. Kick it out on the right. Borchers 3. That was pure. He has 5.
Not trying to compare them to the old Larry McKenzie, Patrick Henry teams, but isn't that what they kind of did, was pressure the whole night, play 10 guys?
Absolutely.
Bring guys in every 5-6 minutes. They're a long way from that comparison-wise, but I think you can see the idea or the mentality is there.
Well, once again, I go back to those Andover teams that went to state a few years, a few years back. They have very similar style between what the Huskies were able to do and what the Tornadoes were able to do, and in these parts we're very familiar with that. Petrozewski to Myers at the shot clock, put it up, no good. Good D by the Tornadoes. Pedani into the front court. He's going to spin, put it up, off the glass, no. And the board comes down to Obenyeni. Obenyeni with a nice rebound, and now it's Myers again. Down low, Petrozewski blocked by Lackinen. Right back up and tapped in by Koa Fuller.
That breaks the streak as Koa Fuller gets the putback, and that's already like 4 blocks for Brody Lackinen tonight, as he's playing a lot bigger on the inside than his size would tell you.
And that one for Borchers off, no good. Easy rebound for the Pioneers. Idhula gets it off to the right, and Myers. Myers looking to go somewhere. Pedani right in his face. Pedani has more length and all over him. This is Petrozewski. Out of the middle, Fuller with the bucket a moment ago to break that 22-0 run. Underneath, reverse layup, no, tapped around, grabbed by the Pioneers, back up, no good. Finally, Pedani for the Tornadoes controls. 4 to go here in half number 1. Bakita in the game, he had it tipped away. And now Hill Murray right back at it. Down the lane, Petrozewski, nice look. And a layup for Obenyeni.
No, we do an official timeout as Myers might have turned his ankle, so they're going to hobble him to the sidelines, and that's too bad because they don't have a ton of depth on this Hill Murray Pioneers team, and they want Myers on the floor. But I think he came up a little gimpy, might have landed on the foot of one of the Tornadoes as he was getting through that offensive sequence. So he will go sit and see if he can kind of get that straightened out.
Yeah, and that's a big blow. 5'10 senior, handles the ball a ton, and he's ailing at the moment. Here's Lackinen to the free throw line, had it tapped away. Nice job by the Pioneers. They're on the break the other way. They'll get it into the half court. This is Fuller. Fuller's played some good minutes. He's just a 9th grader.
Yeah, he's giving them something off the bench because he's a little longer and has a little more polish, it appears.
Down to the block they go. Tornadoes, good defense inside. Turnaround off, no good. They give up the board, but it's stolen away by a Beckway. And Abekwe is going to restore order. Coming up on 3 to go in the half. Abekwe spinning in the lane. Double team. And he got fouled. If that's on Petrozewski, that's number 3.
Yeah. And that's just, it's a tough matchup for Petrozewski. I mean, he's a kind of a big, strong kid, but when you're talking about having lateral, you got to have lateral quickness to go against guys like him. All these wide receiver guys who play guard for the Tornadoes, right? Abekwe is lightning fast, and asking to kind of match up with him side to side is a tough thing to do.
And that foul does go on Fuller. It wasn't on Petrozewski.
And you see the move that Hill Murray's making, going with some of the younger, more leaner guys, going with Fuller, going with Omanyeni, trying to get a little younger, but also just trying to get a little longer on the floor to match up with some of these guards.
Beckway with the make there, and he has 6 points at the moment, 2 of 3 from the line. And that one is good as well.
Boy, what a six-man athlete Beckway is. I'll tell you what. You go him and Hibbler off the bench, along with several others, and you got some stuff.
Yeah, Daniels on the inbound, but I've been impressed by Koa Fuller. He's got a bucket. And now Fuller can't get to it on the wing, but it was tapped away by the Tornadoes. No, turnover on Hill Murray, but as you pointed out, Fuller has brought something to this lineup, and I would expect him to play a lot more as we go through the night.
Absolutely. I think, anytime, if you can go with your longer, leaner guys, some agile guys who can maybe match up with the guards, even if they're not as seasoned, I would take my chances at least with that, because you have got to get a little more athletic on the floor.
That shot from the far side by Bakit, no good, and it'll go out of bounds, and Hill Murray ball.
You have some guys that just don't match up very well with the speedy guards of the Tornadoes, and when they're stuck in the backcourt against some of these guys, it's just a really hard matchup.
They get it in, and it is Fuller. He'll give it to Daniels. They come all the way across. Waiting for that pass was Idhula. And now get it to the middle and Dorman. That's knocked away. Padani, he'll fire it ahead. Borchers on the break.
That's 4 missed layups.
Layup.
What's going on there? And Coach Jefferson just doesn't know what to say anymore.
Just not falling on that end. They've had a lot spin out tonight.
Yeah, he's got Trey may need to take 100 layups before the next game. He might just need to take the layup line a little more seriously, maybe ditch the headband. I don't know, something different. You got to change it up.
Tornadoes hang on to it. In command, 2:30 to go in the half. And on the inbound, they get it to the wing. Here's Bakit. Further out, Peyton Padani. Now it's Hibbler.
Boy, look at that
trying
first
to drive
step.
camp. A back way, further out. Padani will spot up for 3 and nail it.
Boy, that shot is pure from the outside from Peyton Padani, and if you give him a step, he's going to knock that down.
Peyton with 9. Tornadoes steal it away, and then it's knocked out of bounds. Hibbler, quick hands again. Kamari Hibbler, he is 6 off the bench, but defensively, lights out.
And his first step is just so quick. I mean, he is just lightning. And the thing that you see is Hill Murray's, they're falling into the same trap over and over again, getting in the corner, picking up the dribble, and allowing the defense to trap them. You just can't do that. You got to anticipate, see it, and the ball's got to keep moving.
Padani right down the lane, gives it up, and then collapsing on Beckway.
Jeez.
Our 2 pioneers. Hopefully Bekway's okay. That's second time he's been banged up in this half. He's taking a beating down low.
He's like, normally I wear pads when I take these kind of hits, guys.
Foul is on the Pioneers, number 10, Will Idula.
So it's on Idula. Yeah, Beckway has 7 off the bench.
On the inbound, nice catch. Kisses it off the glass. That's Bakit. And Bakit has 5. Nice inbound feed, 42-11. Tornadoes lead. Fuller had it stripped away. Got the double team. Ellis picks it up. Dre Ellis, he almost loses a handle. Now Padani on the left. Padani guarded by Dorman. Padani out into the near corner. What do we have here?
It's an official timeout about something. Was it shot clock reset or something off right there? Let's see if they go and try to fix that. One thing you notice on the floor, Steve, how balanced the scoring is for the Tornadoes. Padani's got 9, Bakit 5, Ellis 5, Hibbler's got 6, Beckway 7, Lakinen's chipped in with a couple of hoops. I mean, you're just getting it from all over the place. Shearer's got a 3 that he's knocked down. Just really, really impressed with how they're balancing this out.
I'm not sure the scoreboard's right. I have it 42.
And maybe that's
11.
the conversation. Maybe that's the convo.
I'm not too. We'll see what they sort out. Nevertheless, Tornadoes in command. 1:55 to go. Coming in 4-1. Hill Murray 3-3. And you see the board there, and if I had to guess, I've got it at 42.
I'll take your word for it, too, by the way.
I'm willing to stick with this.
Yeah, I think you got to go with it. And they just shut the whole board down now. They're like, well, Steve said it's 42, so let's just cut it all off. We'll start it over completely.
I wish there was a stat on how many times I was wrong. It would probably be staggering. But
they don't have to know that. That's the beauty. That's the beauty of that. So the scoreboard is off, and so I think they're just going to maybe try to reset the score, put it back together here. Boy, it's a meeting of the minds over at that scoreboard. You got Roger Way over there. You got Mark Sundberg. I mean, it's really. If you put your heads together right now, I don't know. It might sound like a bowling alley. I'm not sure.
The head custodian has been summoned.
I'm sure the head custodian. Let's call the principal. Let's get him in here. Let's. I'm sure awaken him from his slumber.
Pioneers are going to huddle up right now, and once again, here we are on the brink of the holidays. And a lot of holiday tournaments. And then it really goes quick. You get into the first of the year, and it's kind of like there's 2 months to go in the regular season in boys hoops. A little over that.
It's really
But it really does move along.
It sure does. And that's what's kind of the fun of the winter. Let's take a look at that upcoming schedule here on QC. And Anoka's got Coon Rapids tomorrow night. They host. Then John Marshall at Egan at Champlain Park. Rogers, and of course there's that tournament
part
mixed
of that
in.
tournament at Hamlin at Hutton Arena on the 27th and 28th. Then a huge showdown at Champlain Park. That's going to be a great ball game.
Absolutely. Hill Murray's got Simley, Hastings, Tartan, South St. Paul, St. Thomas Academy. So definitely going to have a chance to maybe get right in some of those games. And you're right. This is a tough, I think matchup-wise, it's just such a tough test for a team like Hill Murray. Come on the road, come into this gym, floor's a little slippery. You're against a very fast team. It's just a tough matchup. Let's look at the QCTV schedule, Steve. A lot of girls hockey and girls basketball on the horizon here on QC with Hopkins.
I'll be next door with Jim Childs tomorrow night for that, weather permitting.
Yeah, it's going to be a little dicey out here potentially. We'll see.
Yeah, and, safety is everything.
Yes.
And it's not so much for the Tornadoes, but it's Hopkins coming up 169 to get to the rink in time for the JV and the varsity. So we'll see about that, but that is scheduled tomorrow
excellent
night.
Girls hockey game. Chrissy Pohl brings Hill Murray in here against Andover. And that great Hill Murray team that they have. Roseville, Matamidi, and girls hockey as well, taking on Champlain Park Coon Rapids, who's also very good, having a very good year. Very talented players there. And then girls basketball, I think I'm back for that one. Providence Academy and Anoka. And that girls basketball team got a big win last night, blowing out Champlain Park by 20.
Plays, for Providence Academy, Madden Greenway. A pretty good player.
Yeah. Last night, so we get a chance to see that. Deborah Ianni's had a great year for the Tornado girls. Maddie Frecking. Ianni had 26 last night in the win against the Rebels.
Yeah, Kentucky-bound Madden Greenway with Providence Academy. And the thing about her, and her dad, Chad Greenway, maybe you've heard of him.
I don't know. Yeah, he's been around, I think, a little bit, right?
And Mom was a track star down at Iowa. And she's headed to Kentucky, but a phenomenal soccer player.
Yeah.
Great basketball player, and any chance you get to see her play. I mean, she's one of those, high school legends already.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be fun to watch. Can't wait for it. You were right, Steve. You're vindicated. 1:39 left to go in the first half. It's 42-11 as the scoreboard was updated. Ding, ding. Steve, I'm sure we'll get a gift card to Speedway. Give him a $5 gift card there and get yourself a morning coffee. We don't really sponsor those things, but hey, you never know. Give him something.
Out of the break, here's Hibbler. Tries a reverse. No.
There's the irrational confidence.
With the board. And here's Fuller. Fuller loses a handle, and then it goes out of bounds. But they're going to say it's going to go on Hibbler. But Hibbler all over him. And in his minutes so far tonight off the bench has been great. 6 points. And as we pointed out, just super active defensively. And now over on the far corner of Beckway, now he's back on the floor.
I don't know if he was already thinking it was halftime or what. I don't know. Beckway was making a move to the locker room.
Myers feeling better. He's on the floor.
And that's a good sign.
He'll get it down low, and this is Daniels, had it knocked away. Hibbler on the break, gets it ahead. Padani drives in, skips it near corner. Dre Ellis, 3-ball. Off, no good. Rebound to Hibbler. He'll go across court. And Padani will miss, and the rebound comes down to Daniels. Xavier Daniels ahead on the break. Fuller couldn't handle it. I think he saw the hoop and forgot to grab the ball.
Well, it's what we talk about when you speed a team up and you're going faster than they want to go. That's when those kinds of turnovers happen, and Fuller is playing at a pace that he probably isn't super comfortable playing at. Definitely wanted that layup.
Paquette spins into the lane, fade away, out of there, no good. Boy, it's been a tight rim down there for the Tornadoes. They're up 42-11, no complaints, but they've had some pop out.
You may want to go down there and just take a gander at that thing at halftime and just see if we can maybe get that thing a little looser here. Certainly Trey Borchers wants to go take a look at it.
Yeah, no doubt. He's had a few hang on the rim. And the Tornadoes put that heat on in the backcourt, and that's knocked away by Ellis.
I think what I love, though, about Borchers is that he's had those missed layups, but there's no pouting. There's no sulking. There's no frustration. He plays defense. He's still gotten about 4 or 5 steals, 4 or 5 rebounds in this half. And that's the stuff I think Coach Jefferson's pushing.
Once again, Cardinals here tomorrow night. Down in the corner, Fuller, air ball, rebound. Daniels with the putback. So Daniels has 5. Under 30 to go in the half. Hibbler over to the left. Paquette back to Hibbler down low. Underneath a Beckway, loses a handle. On the break, here's Daniels. Padani with them, and another layup for Daniels. He has 7. 5 seconds to go. Hibbler the other way down the lane. Stops, pops,
wow.
hits. Hibbler ends it with 8.
An irrational confidence guy says, I'll take it with 5 seconds to go. Kamari Hibbler is just quicker than a hiccup, man. And that was so fast how he got down the floor to get that basket. A brilliant first half by the Tornadoes. And I'm telling you, with all the missed layups, it could have been bigger. They were great.
Yeah, no doubt. A lot of balance. By the way, Padani leads them with 9 points, but a Beckway, he has 7 points. Hibbler, 8. Once again, the Tornadoes live with a balanced attack, and they got it. Outstanding defense the entire length of the floor.
Fantastic stuff from the Tornadoes. Coach Jefferson's got to be thrilled. That's the best defense I've seen this team play in a long, long time. Excellent stuff from Coach Jefferson and his team.
1 in the books. Tornadoes lead at 44-15. We'll break, come back. Half number 2 on the way here on QCTV.
I would say if you haven't shopped here, make sure you come back and check it out each season, because you definitely will see something new every time you come in.
Favorite Things is also participating in the Anoka Social District, so customers can enjoy their drinks, socialize with friends, and shop in the store.
The Anoka community is thriving. The Chamber of Commerce here and the Discover Anoka group do a fantastic job with helping to promote the downtown area and the small businesses. And almost every month of the year we have an event here in town which brings in a lot of customers and just brings in a lot of new people to the city, and it just helps the small businesses thrive. Yeah. I want people to come here and say, oh my God, I'm looking for this item and I want to give it to a friend of mine because it's an item that I love. So that's kind of what I try to specialize in.
So next time you're in Anoka, I definitely make a point to stop by and see what catches your eye at Favorite Things.
So my name's Krista Roadhammer. This is the Artery Studio where you can come take stained glass classes start to finish, or even pick up projects that are cut for you and you can finish here. I also have mosaic classes and a friend who's teaching glass fusing classes.
You might have heard of the Artery Studio before when it was in Ramsey, but owner Krista decided to move locations to Anoka because she grew up in the area.
I used to be an art teacher, and during COVID it just stopped being fun. And I was telling my parents about how unhappy I was with my dream job not working out to be so fantastic. My dad told me I should come to this old office building where he used to have a space, and I should open up my own studio to teach classes there, so that's where the Artery was born. I get to do whatever I want every single day. I can't wait to get here every day and just get working on glass. The next thing we are doing is wrapping all of our pieces with copper foil tape, and most of us have opaque dark glass. So today I have a group making their own sun catchers. They got to design their projects, choose all their glass, cut the glass, grind the glass, and right now they're foiling, and in a few minutes we'll be soldering.
From beginner or experienced, the Artery Studio is a great spot to be.
Yeah, I try to make the process as easy as possible, which is kind of why most weeknights I'll have it cut out ahead of time, because cutting is really the hardest part. You'll end up breaking a lot of glass and getting frustrated and just throw your hands up and say, this is not for me. But I think today I had a little bit of practice glass cutting for people. They really got their feet wet with it and took off with it.
And every artist has a favorite piece they've made.
It's the rainbow quilt block in the corner. Yeah. I love color theory, so I have it all organized in the color wheel around a set of bevels that cast more color into the room.
So make sure you check out the Artery Studio in Anoka and make a memorable piece of art to brighten your day.
Just off of Pierce Street in Anoka is one of the largest humanitarian efforts in the state, and above all else that will be shared in this video today, Anoka Community Mission acts as a solution to some of the largest problems that the country faces today. And thus the purpose of the video is to encourage others to be a part of the solution by visiting anokacommunitymission.org and learning how you can donate or volunteer. I met up with Executive Director Jason Berry to get an exclusive look inside their incredible facility, learn about their volunteer work and opportunities, and to get a glimpse of what it takes to run a mission like this.
We call 440 Pierce Street the Miracle on Pierce Street, and our vision is, if the Lord allows us to, we are going to end up becoming Minnesota Community Missions, and Anoka would be one of our sites.
What has started as a child care ministry with Little Blessings of Anoka in 2013 has now grown into a multifaceted nonprofit with 9 ministries that serve a variety of the most crucial needs in the community.
If you think the mission is the umbrella, and then there are different programs that report to that umbrella. There are social needs programs that are distributing emergency items, but then we have a number of fundraising programs. We collect aluminum cans, we collect rejected international currency, we collect children's books. So they all have their names so that we can track all those. They have their own accounts. And we designed it that way so if any one of those programs grew to such an extent that it needed to become its own nonprofit, it could spin off and become its own nonprofit. And then as you've seen in the building, if the donor wants the funds to go to a particular program, Jason, I want you to use these dollars to buy toilet paper for families. Okay, well, the funds will go into general fund and get transferred over to Martha's Cupboard, and I'll go buy toilet paper with the Martha's Cupboard debit card. And that's another reason why we're structured the way that we are. It enables us to very easily honor donor intent.
Of course, the work at the mission cannot be done without its dedicated volunteers, whose experiences and skill set
hosting the Hill Murray Pioneers and dominating 44-15 at the half. Peyton Pedani leading the way with 9. Kamari Hibbler with 8 off the bench. Apia Beckway with 7 off the bench. But a ton of balance in this lineup, and defensively, lights out tonight.
Yeah, they slapped on that press a couple minutes into the game, and they started working some half-court traps, and they were just really pressuring the guards of Hill Murray, and I felt like the Pioneers just had a hard time answering.
Tornadoes in black, Hill Murray in white. We were tied at 4. 22-0 run blew it open for the Tornadoes in the middle of that half, and they are in command here. This is Borchers. Borchers hands it off, starting 5 out there for Jesse Jefferson. Lackinen, Bakit, Pedani, Ellis, and Borchers. And that is Dominic Bakit out to the middle, Peyton Pedani. Pedani long 3, got it. Pedani extends, he has 12 now to lead all.
First to double figures, and he knocks down that real pure outside shot.
By the way, Xavier Daniels was 7 to lead Hill Murray at the half. It has just been a struggle for them to get into that half court. And now they'll work it outside. Here is Ben Myers banged up in the first half. Dorman, Petrozewski, Daniels, Idula, and Myers. Rebound, Tornadoes on the run. Minute into the half, down in the corner, another 3. Pedani off, no good. Rebound tapped out of there, almost grabbed by Lackinen. He just couldn't control. And now here comes Hill Murray down the lane, putting up a shot. Idula, and had it knocked away. Will Idula. And the Tornadoes are going to get a good job. Lackinen was there. And defensively, they've just been all over the ball.
Yeah, Idula was out of control right there, too, trying to drive through 3 guys, and that's why the refs didn't bail him out with a call. Kind of wanted one, but that wasn't happening. You got to be at least a little bit in control.
Borchers, 3 ball, short, no good, and the rebound comes down to Myers, the senior. Once again, looked like he may have twisted an ankle. He's back out there. They really need him. Will Idula crosses over at the line, and then off the leg of Borchers. Tornadoes are going to get it. Another turnover on the Pioneers. Pedani fires it ahead. Bakit, 3 ball. Got it. Dominic Bakit has 8.
And that's the thing, like they're big for guards. So when you get a guy like Bakit who's 6'3", who can stretch you out to the outside and hit threes, that's really difficult to match up with.
Well, really, based on what I've seen, everybody in this lineup can shoot the 3. Idula, nice move in the paint, tough shot. He is on the board. Nice job by Will Idula.
Yeah, anybody who can get some baskets now for Hill Murray, you want to give them a chance. Lackinen, a nice put in.
Lackinen, beautiful.
Yeah, it's a beautiful dime from Dre Ellis as he was able to feed Lackinen on a little cut from the back door. Drew that double team, and once he did, immediately dished it off for the easy basket.
There's Myers. By the way, first bucket for Lackinen. Petrozewski driving in. Daniels missed a shot, got it back, up again, no. And now Pedani with the board for the Tornadoes. Coming up on 15 to go in the game. Pedani spinning, loses it. Petrozewski ahead to Daniels. Daniels goes in, blocked out of there by Lackinen, but following Petrozewski, and he has 4.
Nice job of following on that one, knowing that it was going to be 1-on-2, so Petrozewski stays with it, gets the block first from Lackinen, and then gets the loose change. Lackinen, I think, with 5 blocks.
Ellis drove in, a little out of control, stolen away by the Pioneers. Myers over to Idula. Down in the corner, Myers. He'll drive in, put it off the glass. No, tapped out of there, Pedani. Pedani on the break. Off on the right, Borchers 3. Off, no good.
Just a lid on it for Trey tonight.
Yeah, and right back the other way, Idula. Out in the corner to Daniels. Myers, left of the lane, down to the block, powers it up and in. Nice job by Myers. He has 4.
Hill Murray tries to get back into the defense. And again, when you get a chance to actually kind of set on an offensive sequence, then you can really get a playoff there. Good job by Hill Murray. It's been such a frantic pace to this game.
Lackinen hands it off. Borchers, he's going to drive in, kick it out in the corner. Bakit again, air ball. And the rebound to Will Idula. Idula on the break. He's going to charge in. Lackinen, get it over Lackinen and in.
And they're not trying to foul at all. So Lackinen wasn't trying to pay that off with a 3-point play. Basically conceded that basket because he didn't get that position that he needed in the paint.
6-0 run for the Pioneers. Ellis to the top. There's Lackinen. Out in the corner, McKee. He loses the handle. Petrozewski's going to give it up. And now triple teams getting through that somehow. Dorman. Jacob Dorman. And now it's out in the corner, Idula. And Idula got fouled, and that's going to be on Borchers.
Yeah, foul on Borchers, and then another foul on the floor because it's slipping and falling out here. We always talk about how this floor is maybe the slickest in the area. Another example of that right there. Very hard to cut, especially if you take contact. So they get the foul there on Trey Borchers, and that's going to get a timeout for Coach Jefferson as the offense not very crisp for the Tornadoes. They're getting some looks, not knocking them down, but even then a couple of turnovers, a couple of bad passes. And that's the stuff that Coach Jefferson wants to clean up.
And they started out slow in this game. If you remember, 4-4 early, and then the Tornadoes, their first run was 7-0 to go up 11-4, and then they had that 22-0 run after that. But they weren't crisp early either.
That's true. That's absolutely right. So they come out with that frantic pace. They're trying to push the tempo and push the pace of this game. And sometimes in doing that, you're making yourself go a little too fast as well. Cheer team is here tonight as well, doing some pyramids over there on this side of the floor. They're heading to Nationals in Florida in February. Good job by them. One of the captains, one of my speechies, Ella McDougall. Good job by her.
Nice.
And that very good Anoka cheer team. Well done.
They put in a ton of work.
Oh, they sure do.
Ton of work. Great to see.
Coach Jordan's done a fine job getting the kids out in that program. Want to say a shout out too to one of the assistant coaches for the Tornadoes not on the bench tonight, Steve. Pat Steinbring hanging out at home with the wife who is expecting. They're going to have a child in the next day or two. Good job by them.
Yeah.
Well
Congrats.
done. I mean, you are missing the basketball game for it, Pat, but at least it's for a good cause. We'll give it to you.
Dorman in the backcourt. Myers gives it up. Out on the floor now, Koa Fuller, who had some good minutes. This is Myers again. And they got 3 on the shot clock. They better hurry.
Oh, man.
Good D by the Tornadoes. They just stuck with it.
They need some awareness there. Somebody's got to talk for the Pioneers, Steve. They got to say, hey, shoot. Got to look at that clock and say, we got to get that ball in the air. Communication. People have to be talking on the floor. Hill Murray not doing a lot of it there.
Hibbler, Kamari Hibbler up a back way. He has the ball right now. Caleb Schur on the floor. As head coach Jesse Jefferson goes to the bench. Tornadoes, big lead, 44-15 at the half. Schur at the line, kicks it out. Hibbler down into the corner. They're working it. And now Schur, hell of a wide open 3 and miss it. They've had good looks. They just haven't been able to knock them down. There's a tough rebound inside for Concho Quante. And then Hill Murray pulls down the board. Nice job there by Daniels.
Yeah, it's a bench 5 right now for the Tornadoes and a big steal here, 2-on-1.
There's a backway, gives it up. Shot up, off, no good. And the Tornadoes are going to get free throws.
As that's Frumea G. Tumasang, who's going to head to the line.
And by the way, first team foul. So it's been a clean half. Team fouls even at 1 apiece. 12:02 to go. Frumea G. Tumasang at the line, knocks it down.
So they go Shearer, Abekwe, Quenti, G. Tumasang, and Hibbler on the floor. Bench all 5 starters at this point, giving some extended minutes to some of these younger guys.
53-23. Second one off, no good, but the rebound, Quenti, and then he threw it away, and it's Daniels the other way.
Stifling defense there in the corner.
Yeah, they really brought it in the first half. Here's Myers right of the lane. Kicks it out in the corner. Caught by Dorman. Dorman tries to go baseline. Tornadoes were there. Back out. Myers 3. Got it. Myers has 5.
Those can be defensive and press killers if you can make some threes. That time they knock one down. That's a big one for them. Haven't shot a lot of them.
Hibbler had a big first half, 8 off the bench. And then they go inside, and that's knocked away from a Beckway. Gets it back somehow. Out to Hibbler. Kind of playing catch out on that right wing, working the shot clock down to 10. And this is G. Tumasing.
And the student section over there was dying for that one to go in.
Euro step, layup, Daniels. And he has 9 to lead them, 53-28.
I have a feeling we might be seeing maybe Colden Johnson come into the game here in just a second. I'm going to try to see if I can get a number on who's coming into the game
the 8th
for Anoka.
grader. And the leaner there, a Beckway, bucket and foul, and the first opportunity for an and one tonight.
Yeah, Afia Beckway, we talk about that polish and his offensive game and how much better it has gotten. And again, you're seeing a great example of it there as he finishes. And indeed, it is Colden Johnson, the 6'4", 8th grader, checking into the game for the Tornadoes. Kind of a fascinating story with this young man.
Concho Quenti will sit down. And a Beckway at the line. By the way, second team foul on Hill Murray.
Not every day an 8th grader replaces a senior on the floor in a varsity basketball game. But they're really high on this young 8th grader to make the varsity team and get minutes at this stage.
A Beckway double figures, and at a big school, it is very rare.
Absolutely.
You know, in the Northwest Suburban, there haven't been, over the years, a lot of 8th graders to play.
Well, and then tryouts came around, too. Coach Jefferson had a lot of kids come out, and he had to send a lot of them out here in the program because they just had so many guys. And he was like, it was a nice problem to have, but, man, to see an 8th grader come through and crack this roster is really impressive. Comes from a pretty high-ranked club team.
Yeah, and just getting any varsity experience, especially, and here's the thing, for an 8th grader, to be able to practice and work against the senior-laden lineup is going to make him so much better going forward, because I can imagine when they practice, they really get after it.
Well, there was definitely some of that last year. These guys are, fiery competitors, and they've had some fiery practices. And I'm sure when you have a trash talker like Kamari Hibbler in your pocket during practice every day, that'll certainly get you going.
Stolen away by the Tornadoes. Here's Hibbler. Right along the baseline, gives it up inside, up and in for Colden Johnson, the 8th grader, as a bucket. And it's 58-28. And he's got, not only is he tall, he's got some strength too.
Yeah, he's certainly moving up against some grown kids, but again, he doesn't look like an 8th grader, does he? He looks like a big kid.
There's no doubt he's going to get the foul there, working against Almanyeni on the block. John Almanyeni, sophomore, big kid as well.
So Johnson will come in and get a first. So he's going to fill up the stat sheet. He doesn't know how many minutes he's going to get in, Steve, but he's going to fill up as many stats as he can. Got a bucket, got a foul.
You had a rebound to it. You got a night.
Yeah, you got something going on there. You might have earned a Chick-fil-A.
And Daniels gets it in the corner off the feed from Almanyeni. They got to get it out, under 10 on the shot clock.
Yeah, somebody's got to talk for Hill Murray.
Dorman at the free throw line, kicks it out. Idula, Dorman the board, reset the shot clock. Daniels, little leaner on the baseline, no, and the rebound, a Beckway.
Daniels' game's not super polished, but I kind of like it. I think he can get shots and do some stuff for Hill Murray. He clearly needs a little bit more of that seasoning with handling the basketball and knowing what to do on the inside.
9:30 to go in the game. Tornadoes up 44-15 at the half. Beckway on the elbow. Further out, Shearer drives in, turned away. This is Hibbler. Gives it up. Now Shearer out in the corner, 3, off no good, and the rebound, Daniels. Nine to go in the game. Hill Murray the ball. Goes around Hibbler, and we're going to get a foul.
Well, Kamari is certainly not going to be shy about contact. He is not afraid of initiating it. That time, a little bump on Fuller.
And number one on him, no one in the game with more than 2. Fouls have not been a factor here
Yeah,
tonight.
refs have really let them play on the inside. And I mean, there's been physicality, but it's been fair physicality, and they've just kind of let it happen.
Dorman off on the right, Daniels. Guarded there by a Beckway. And they go inside. That's knocked away nicely by Johnson. A Beckway on the break goes in. He got fouled. He'll go to the line and get two. Idula fouled him.
Well, the one guy they do foul out there is a Beckway, as he's been bumped and knocked around in this game.
He went down hard a couple of
Sure
times
did.
in half number one. I'm worried about him.
Yeah, it might be an ice bucket night here for Affia Beckway. But he is really been fun to watch here tonight. He's got 10 points. He's been a slasher.
And free throws good.
And that stroke's getting more pure as the night goes along here, as the 5 starters are going to come back into the game, except for a Beckway who's got to stay and finish up this free throw.
Beckway 5 of 6 from the line. You'll take that every night.
Yeah, if you're going to get 11 off the bench and you're going to get some contribution at the line, you will take it if you are Coach Jesse Jefferson.
Made free throws are so huge against good teams. Late in the season, sections, got to make free throws, and we jinxed them badly.
Yeah, we sure
there.
did. It's totally your fault there,
Yeah.
Steve, but you knew
On
it.
me. So, looks like regulars out there Lackinen.
Yeah, maybe just a
Keats
final
out there.
couple of minutes here just to kind of keep them from getting stiff and give those bench guys a chance to kind of get a little breather after some extended time, as they were on the floor for quite a bit.
Lackinen, Bakit, Padani, Ellis, Borchers out there for the Tornadoes. He'll Murray the ball. Under 8:30 to go in the game.
Travel.
And we got to travel. Yep.
Yeah. You got... Kids tend to not know that they do that, but they pick up that foot a lot before they put the ball on the floor, and they're always surprised when the ref calls them for it. But you have got to commit to dribble first before you start running.
Ellis in the backcourt, gets it ahead. Bakit. Bakit with room, kicks it out in the corner. Padani. He'll skip it across. Borchers, 3-ball. Out, no good. Down deep and out. He can't buy one. And that's stolen away by Padani. Running the floor, driving in, laying it up and in is Borchers. He has 7.
He was going to force that one into the basket no matter what that time.
And it wasn't that easy. 61-28. It bounced around but fell. Borchers will take it. But he's played well defensively for sure. Daniels goes in, kicks it out. Idula down the lane. The runner falls. Nice bucket for Idula. 6 all in the half.
Bakit tried to draw the charge. Going to be hard to get that when you're up 31.
Bakit, Ellis, Padani, play catch. Padani now near the A in the middle of the floor. Now it's Borchers down the lane. Left hand layup.
All right,
Yes,
Trey's like,
Ryan.
I'm going to get all mine here in the next 2 to 3 minutes.
And an opportunity for an and one.
And again, with the left hand, that's what you love about a guy like Borchers, is that he can do it with both hands. He can dribble. He can finish at the rim. Tenacious defender. And that's, again, these are the same guys that were giving up 80, 90 points a game a couple of years ago. And now here they are with stifling defense tonight, holding the team at 30 with 7 to go. It's a big step forward for this young Tornado team.
Borchers 5 in each half. Perfect 3 of 3 from the line. Dorman having all sorts of trouble on the perimeter. Ellis was all over him, but Hill Murray's going to hang on, and inbound was Xavier Daniels.
Especially, guys like Borchers who were playing as sophomores, Steve. Padani and Borchers have been, I feel like they've been on the varsity roster forever. A couple of years ago, you could get 25 on them, and now they're stifling.
Tipped away, grabbed there by Lackinen. Just 2 in the game, but Lackinen's been a part of that defensive effort. Padani, corner 3. Off no good. Borchers can't grab the board. And it's hauled in by Koa Fuller. Just a 9th grader. Lob down the floor, goes out of bounds, Anoka ball. Good job by Bakit to get back.
You get the
Terrific
vibe,
job by Dominic Bakit.
Yeah, Bakit's been terrific tonight. You get the vibe, too, that guys like Brody Lackinen sort of get their role. They're like, you know what, I can get baskets on the inside and I can score, but I'm going to be getting rebounds and getting block shots and being the assist guy inside and kind of getting the greasy stuff done on the inside. You need a guy like that, too, in an offense like this.
Padani, feet inside, up and in. Nice job by Lackinen. Caught it in traffic. Almost stolen away. Daniels hangs on.
They're slapping a press back on, up 36.
Petrozewski, he'll throw it cross court, knocked away there by Borchers. And I would assume Jesse Jefferson said to his starters when he put him back on the floor, all right, guys, let's finish strong.
Yeah.
Let's get some momentum. By the way, Coon Rapids here tomorrow night.
Yeah, and they clearly were thinking, too, that we didn't play a very clean start to the second half. We need to execute 2-3 good minutes of basketball here. And you've seen that. They've come in much more focused. They're getting to the rim, getting layups. And now those starters are starting to find their way out of the lineup.
Yeah, Laakkonen, Padani, Bakit sit down. And they sub back in and go to the bench. Ellis still out on the floor. Borcher still out on the floor among the starting five.
And Radke on the floor, and Johnson as well now back out for Anoka. First time seeing Radke's name.
Yeah, and for Colton Johnson, to play that good defense and not pick up a ton of fouls. Not have the line where you get 4 minutes and 4 fouls.
And it's one thing to watch when you see a guy come in at varsity level. I don't care what the game is the competition, the speed, is all of that too big for them? And what we're seeing is that it's not, right? Yep. That he seems really comfortable playing at a varsity pace. And again, this is a different kind of animal than what he would maybe deal with when he sees Blaine or he sees Coon Rapids or he sees Andover or something like that. But still, to get on the floor in varsity minutes and to feel like you're comfortable, that you belong, that you're not a fish out of water, I think that's big.
Yeah, maybe we can get another look at the Tornado schedule coming up between now and early in the new year, because they're going to be at Coon Rapids tomorrow night, then at Hamlin at Hutton Arena for a holiday tournament, 27th and 28th. And then right out of the gate in the new year, they're going to be at Champlin Park. So definitely a big game to start the new year.
And you want to pile up as many wins as you can, too, right? So they're 5-1 heading into tonight, on their way to 6-1. You can start stacking wins here early. I think that plays pretty big for a team that's only won 12 games the last couple of years each, right? So if you can get to 15, 16 wins pretty quickly, that stuff really starts to move the confidence meter. Guys start to play with a little different energy and a different edge.
Once again, this is that team. We talked about their identity. Get up and down the floor and just play great defense all over the floor, and that is going to pay dividends. It's going to make it very difficult.
And year 4, Jesse Jefferson has definitely got his guys playing the way he wants them to play and running the system he wants to run and playing the kind of defense he wants them to play. It took a little while to stick, but it is sticking now. And Tornadoes are playing some great basketball.
Fuller from near the elbow bounces out of there. Rebound, Kamari Hibbler. Hibbler at 8 at the half, drives in, kicks it out near corner. Borchers shot up. That's Cole Borchers. And then followed back up and in by Colton Johnson. He has 4.
Nice job of boxing out. Yeah, you got both Borchers on the floor, and they look alike, too, so it's going to be really hard to tell them apart, except one's got a headband and one doesn't.
And Daniels drives in for the bucket, and Daniels has 11 points to lead the Pioneers. Right back the other way, Hibbler drives in, rejected by Petrozewski. And the Pioneers are going to get the ball. Good job by Petrozewski. Get all ball there.
Slapping around. Kamari wants the call. Kamari wants every call. I mean, that's the thing with him. But he just went past Colton Johnson like he was standing still. The speed in which Kamari Hibbler plays with is really something. But I think referees are maybe saying to him, you might be a touch out of control when you get to the basket, and that's why we're not giving you that call. I think my legs would fall off if I had a fraction of Kamari's speed. I don't know what to do with myself if I get above 5 miles an hour.
Myers down to the block. Nice feed. Petrozewski misses a bunny, gets it back, puts it up and in. And he has 6.
A little better execution here underneath for Hill Murray in the second half.
Team falls even at 4 apiece. Not a factor. Under 4 to go in the game. Ball kick comes all the way to Shearer. Skips it all the way across. Cole Borchers, just a sophomore. Shearer off the glass. Nice driving bucket there. That was pretty. He has 7.
Shearer, maybe not as flashy as his brother was as a ball handler, but I think as dead on as a shooter. Really, really effective ball player.
Driving baseline, getting it to spin down was Fuller, the 9th grader. He has 4 points, and he shows promise. There's no doubt about it. In the time he's had tonight, he's played some good minutes for the Pioneers. Hibbler, free throw line, turned away. by Myers, and then that's stolen away. And this is Idula off no good. Sheeran, the board, gets it behind his back to Johnson. Now Radke. Shearer fires it down low, up and in, and one for Colton Johnson. Good body control.
100%. Like he's boxing out on the inside beautifully there to get that opportunity, and Idula has just no leverage to get after the 8th grader. Watch how he clears this out on the inside. There was just no way to get to him, and he was able to just turn and shoot. And he got a giant shove from Kamari Hibbler at the end of that. He might get a bruise on him after that.
Well, he's listed at 6'4", but looks a little bigger than that.
Yeah.
And
I think there's probably some room to grow. I wouldn't be surprised if in a year or two he's 6'5", 6'6".
Well, he's in 8th grade.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, makes you want to go home and fight your old man a little bit for why you're 5'7" and you can't run. And there's an 8th grader who's 6'4" and can shoot. Nice shot there.
There's a three-pointer from Dorman. First bucket of the game for the 9th grader for the Pioneers. 72-39, 1:40 to go in the game. Here's Radke. Ephraim Radke. Now on the floor, Isaiah with the runner there.
Most of the JV guys here who just got a lot of minutes in that JV game early, now getting some extended varsity time here in the final minute and a half.
Driving shot off by Idula. Ball down on the deck, fought for. Dorman ties it up with Colton Johnson. Better dives in on the floor.
We are in running time, as you can kind of see here.
And we're at the 1 minute mark. Tornadoes are going to win once again. Coon Rapids, weather permitting, tomorrow night at 7. Once again, winter storm warning goes into effect overnight tonight and continues tomorrow. We're scheduled to have Hopkins Park against Anoka girls hockey. Cross away at the arena tomorrow night. Shot off, no good. Rebound hauled down by the Tornadoes.
Over and back there, and yeah, that means you got to hustle home. I'm worried about you, Steve. You got to get home before it gets too late. You know, get the car in the garage.
I park outside.
Oh, you are. I'll tell you are a man's man. I'll tell you what.
It doesn't matter. I'll answer the bell tomorrow.
See, you're old school. You're too seasoned. Like you're just not afraid of anything out here.
If the game's on tomorrow night and I had to hitchhike, I'd do it.
Yeah.
Shot off, no good, and that'll do it. Tornadoes roll. They led it 44-15 at the half. Go on to win at 72-39. Tornadoes get another win. Coon Rapids here tomorrow night. But really, balanced scoring, great defense, all over the floor.
Yeah, huge contributions. I think, 9 guys scored tonight for the Tornadoes. Padani, I think, got, 15 or whatever it was, what he led the way with. So, I mean, you got a lot of guys contributing in a lot of ways, and I think that's terrific. That's the stuff that Coach Jefferson wants to see. Guys coming off the bench like Hibbler and Abekwe. I mean, just a fantastic night from everybody across the board. Good one for the Tornadoes.
Quick rundown. Hibbler had 8, Lackinen with 4 in the ball game tonight. Abekwe with 11 off the bench. But Dominic McKeith, he had 8. Padani led the way with 12. Scherer with 7. Ellis with 5. And also scoring Colton Johnson, the 8th grader, had 6 points off the bench tonight. Trey Borchers, 5 in each half, total of 10. Tornadoes win, beat Hill Murray 72-39. Pioneers fall to 3-4. Tornadoes now 5-1 with Coon Rapids here tomorrow night. It's been fun as always, Tim.
Absolutely, Steve. It's always fun to catch a little game here. At least, again, we're getting some warm assignments now, you and I. Getting in the gym, not having to go outside and be cold or sitting in a cold hockey arena. You and I are getting the good gigs now.
I get the cold hockey arena tomorrow night. We'll see here on QCTV. Big thanks to our crew here on site, back in the studios in Champlin. Once again, our final score, the Anoka Tornado 72, the Hill Murray Pioneers 39. Good night.